you experience dull, achy, nagging pain in your low back when sitting for an extended period of time? Hi, I'm Dr. Connor Tobush with Whitefish Chiropractic, and in this short video, I'm going to go over some tips and simple exercises that you can mix into your day to help you avoid those painful symptoms. So that dull, achy, diffuse pain across the low back, pain when going to stand after sitting for a period of time, those are typically the result of what we call mechanical pain. And in this situation, it's usually the result of either excessive pressure on the discs in your low back or excessive tension on the muscles and connective tissue structures in your low back. And honestly, it's usually a little bit of both, but either way, that excessive stress and strain on the structures in your low back will eventually lead to damage. So the pain that you feel is basically your body telling you to get up and move, get out of that position so you can avoid that potential harm. Unfortunately, oftentimes we're too busy, too focused on the task at hand, so instead of listening to our bodies and getting out of that position, we'll just move over slightly and hope that magically the pain disappears. And usually that's not a great solution. So what else can you do? Well, I think the first thing is to just understand that when you're getting into those poor postures, it's putting the excessive stress and strain on parts of your body that's producing your painful symptoms. So the first thing would just be, when you know you're going to have to sit for an extended period of time, try to maintain good upright posture. Something like a lumbar support roll is a great investment. Or if you don't want to pay the money, you could roll up a hoodie or a towel and that'll do the same thing for you. But helping you keep your low back out of that slouched, rounded position will keep you from potentially damaging structures in your low back. The other thing would be, don't just sit for hours on end, especially if you're in pain. Try to make some time for micro breaks. Get up, go for a walk, find time to mix in some of these exercises that we're about to go over. We know you get busy at work and things like that, but finding a little bit of time to move your body and get out of those positions is well worth it because you're going to be feeling a lot better if you do. The first exercise we're going to look at is standing lumbar extensions. So when we have to sit for a long time, a lot of times we start to kind of slouch and round the low back. Well, with this exercise, we're going to be working on moving the low back in the opposite direction. So you could go hands on your spine if you want, or forearms, whatever works better for you. But we're just going to be using these as a fulcrum to arch our back over. So here we go, just arching the low back over the forearms. And with these, we don't want you to push to the point of pain. A little bit of strain is okay, and if you are feeling some strain with it, usually you'll see that by the time you get to reps 8, 9, 10, that strain has started to reduce, and usually you'll be moving a little bit further. The next exercise we're going to look at is a triplanar hip flexor stretch. When we have to sit for extended periods of time, a lot of times these hip flexor muscles in the front tend to stiffen up on us. That'll give you a little bit of discomfort in the front of the hips, but can also contribute to your low back pain. So we'll show you a quick way to get those stretched out. First, we'll have you go into kind of this split stance position. We're going to try to keep the back tall. Then we'll have you tuck your tail underneath. Then you're just going to lunge forward until you feel a good stretch here in front of your pocket. We'll do 10 of these going this way. Next, we'll have you get into the same position here. And then instead of going forward, now we're just going to reach over to the other side. You should feel a nice stretch in front of your pocket with that one as well. And the last one will be rotation. So same position, and now we'll have you lunge forward and reach across. We'll do 10 of each of those to keep those hip flexors nice and stretched out. The last exercise that we're going to look at is going to be a cat-cow. So we're just going to have you get onto your hands and knees and slow and controlled move the segments of your spine through a full range of motion. So I'll show you a couple here. So on the hands and knees, then we're going to try to arch our back way up, and then we'll let it fall down into extension. Arch way up, and then let it fall down into extension. A couple sets of 15 to 20 on those throughout your day is going to keep your back feeling nice